Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Super Panda Adventures. And the last time we played, we killed a giant monkey. And then we were really happy and immediately stopped playing. After, we got magic I never actually bothered to show off. So we got new magic. You can switch between magic with the RB and LB buttons on an Xbox controller. And I have no idea what the keyboard controls are because I've never used them. But there you go. You can see that I'm switching in the bottom of the screen. And now we have this big old hammer thing, which can actually break these iron platform things, which is pretty cool. It allows us to get some extra stuff, which is quite nice. But now we're going to talk to Meow, who's been standing here with an exclamation mark for quite some time now. I've done it, Meow. The machine. Hey, you repaired your house. Awesome. Yes. Now that Mr. Alfonso has more time on his hands, we fixed my house together. Wow. I'd love to see the village restored to its state before the robots wrecked everything. That's the plan, Fu. Speaking of a plan, I have located the last machine we have to destroy. Great. Finally, we can rid the planet of these ugly headache machines. Where is it? Come and meet me at Vanilla Rock. I'll show you the way to the last machine. And that is something we're going to do a bit later, but we'll get around to that. We'll get around to that. Don't worry about it. So, the new magic, pretty good. It has a pretty long range. Well, like, it has a lot... The range is a lot better than for my melee attack, at least. And it stuns everything, pretty much. Like, apart from bosses, it's pretty good to just stun everyone all the time, as you'll soon see, because I'm pretty much going to be spamming this quite a bit. The only downside is with these shield guys. For some reason, they can just break out of their stun and immediately put their shield up, and it's like, sup. And yeah, the only way to basically get them to stop blocking again is to either wait or to use the attack again. And the downside of that attack is that it costs a lot of mana. And that's kind of sad, because otherwise I would just use it forever and forevermore. But sadly, it is not entirely broken, and therefore we can't just use it all the time. But it is very useful, and it will be used very prominently, as you'll soon see. But still, funnily enough, I'm never actually going to level it up, because it's actually, I think it only actually changes the stun duration question. No, it also changes the damage, but the main thing I'm using it for is the stunning. And the duration of the stun is actually so good right now that I really don't need to put any points in it. So, not really going to bother with that. But we have climbed this place, and now I'm over here. And surely there are a lot of interesting things going on here. We had to find Quentin, who was the Wizard Bunny's brother. And he was like, we have an argument. He turned my house into a mushroom. That's annoying. And he got real mad, so now we have to tell Quentin to stop being a jerk, and that is exactly what we're gonna do. Or Temlin, or whatever his name was. Hello, Temlin, what's up?
What? I didn't turn my brother's house into a mushroom. Stop interrogating me.
So Quentin was right, so you did it.
No.
But you just...
No.
Come on.
Okay, I did it, but only because Quentin has hidden my blue glowworm in his labyrinth, as he calls it.
This is so childish. So if I can get your blue glowworm out of that labyrinth, you will dispel his tower.
Wow, I didn't think you would, but yeah, if you get my blue glowworm back, I'll remove the spell.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to the labyrinth. And I would say that the downside of a 2D platformer is that labyrinths are either a bit simplified or they're just really annoying and stupid. Unfortunately, this one's just a bit simplified, but what are you gonna do? It is kind of an interesting just tower, really, because the way he used all the platforms, it does all kind of match up, but you are basically just following the one single path right now. But there you go. That's pretty much just the limitation of having a 2D platformer, really, but it is an interesting little place, and we're only gonna visit it once, so you will admire it for all its little beauty, just this one time, and then we will never see it again. But it does have a lot of experience, and it has a lot of keys, and it has a lot of enemies, and everyone wants to be our friend, especially that guy. Another thing that I completely forgot to mention until now is that you can, someone actually pointed this out in the comments as well, if you hit your shuriken with the magic, it actually turns it into a big fireball, which I didn't notice until then, which, thank you, person in the YouTube comments whose name I'll just edit in the video because I have completely forgotten and I'm a horrible friend. But it actually works with the hammer as well. The effect is quite different in that it makes just a whole bunch of tiny little shurikens instead of one big fireball. And that's really good. Like, you can't really control it very well, but all of them seem to pretty much do the same amount of damage as a regular shuriken, so it's pretty good. But anyway, we just ran past the blue glowworm, so I'm just gonna pick it up.
You found Temlin's blue glowworm. Maybe Temlin will remove the spell from Quentin's tower. I really hope those two rabbits can find a way to stop fighting now.
And perhaps they will. But there's the power orb here, that's far more important, and we leveled up, so I'm pretty much gonna be putting points into damage for a while now because there's nothing really to worry about. And, well, we've maxed out the shuriken damage, so that's pretty useful anyway. So I'm just gonna focus on sword damage for now. Just gonna try not to die, which is always fun. Kind of tricky, I guess, but we'll manage, I think so. I found your blue glowworm in the labyrinth.
Oh, gimme.
Oh, first you and Quentin are going to shake hands and be nice to each other again.
But, Temlin?
Well, stop it.
Okay. Tell Quentin I'll come over and we can bury the hatchet.
Thanks, that was the best solution for all of us. I'll walk over to Quentin and tell him right away. And as such, we're gonna go to Quentin. This is quite a while until the next time we're actually gonna go back here. But there are a few extra things we can do here once we get a few extra items, which we don't really have access to right now. And we're just gonna leave it at that. We're just gonna go. Always nice when that block happens, where it just says block instead of how much shield damage you take, because it means that your shield does not deplete, and that is very useful. Another kind of sad thing, which I don't think I pointed out, is that once you pick up an item that just kind of floats around the moment you enter a level, it will be gone from the level forever. Like the health bottle over there in the bottom of the screen right now. These two. Like, if I pick these up, if I revisit the level, they won't actually respawn. So that is actually kind of something to consider. Especially with, like, the cherries and stuff, because those are kind of rare. There's not that many of them, and it's kind of a good thing to have as many of those as possible. Just lying around for when you really need them. So it is kind of a good idea sometimes to just leave them alone until a later time. But we are going to Quentin, because Quentin's brother has felt that he can now be friends once more. And now we shall see if Quentin feels the same way. His house is a sausage. Hey Quentin, I've spoken with... What did you do with the tower? I mean, Mushroom, is this a bratwurst?
Well, I was trying to remove the spell, and then I got hungry, and... What did Temlin say?
What he said doesn't matter. I want you two to stop your childless fight and be nice to each other again.
But Temlin...
Zip it.
You're right, Fu. I was childish and stupid to fight over nonsense like this.
Yeah, Temlin is already on his way over, so you can tell him that personally.
What? He's coming over? But I'm all out of cactus tree. This is a disaster.
Don't panic. Just tell me where I can find these cacti... You know what I mean.
Go to the Sunshine Desert. These cactus grow on the very left side of that. Hurry before Temlin comes.
I also love that this game doesn't refer to it as like east and west. It's to the left. It's never just in a direct. It's just to the left. Like, it's not like there's a third dimension. And let's stop pretending there is. Now, this journey may seem oddly familiar to anyone who has watched any of the 4 previous parts, because it's basically going to be roughly exactly the same as the last time we were in this area. I'm pretty much just going to be going to the left until I get to the cactus flowers. You may have actually already seen them briefly in the video, though I didn't really talk about them because they weren't really important at the time, but you may have noticed the little blue flowers hiding out at the cactus, but if you didn't, you'll get to see them soon. I'm going to skip these shield guys for now because they just ruin your combo all the time. And it's not really worth it. I think the combo bonus is usually worth it more than trying to fiddle with killing those guys because they just don't cooperate very well. Also, those birds just die from just about everything at this point, so using magic to kill them, it can be somewhat cost efficient since, you know, they die and then they won't hit you and then it's no longer scary. And there are some blue flowers growing next to this cactus, so what's this? You got the cactus leaves. These will be great to make delicious cactus tea. Wow, they look just like sparkle leaves. Anyway, I should head back to Quentin now. And we're gonna head back to Quentin. Yeah, not really the most exciting quest, but you know, there were blue flowers that need to be had because otherwise there's just not enough tea to give to your friends and family. And that would be a big problem, because without tea, what can you do? Nothing! And that's what he's gonna tell me.
There you are, Foo. Did you find the cactus leaves?
Yes, here they are. I'm glad to see Temblin's here with you and your tower is back to normal again.
And this is all because of you, Foo. We were so stupid to fight over nonsense and hide each other's stuff.
No problem. Just don't do it again.
For all the time and effort you spent to help us both, please take this magic ring as a reward from me.
A reward? That's not really necessary, Quentin.
I know you're trying to find the princess. This ring here will help you find her. Trust me.
Thank you, Quentin. You both better behave now, and you still have a carrot on your hat, by the way.
No, I don't. Take care, Foo.
And we get the magic rings. Gives you the power to control the red and blue crystals to turn blocks on and off. And that's going to be useful because those are these things, and there's quite a lot of them in the world. And yeah, there is actually something else I can actually get in this tree. But I'm going to go back here later because there is even more stuff that I can get with items I don't currently have yet. So yeah, pretty much going to be doing that later. But for now, we are going to the right and not to the left because I'll be there later as well. We are going to Sandy Hill in the desert, and we are going to find a sage that Master Wushu told us not to talk to, but we're going to talk to him anyway because that seemed like a good idea to do. And when it seems like a good idea to the main character, it's probably a good idea to just go with it because otherwise you will not find any progression in the video game, and that would be sad. Now, the sage is to the right, and I'm going to the left because there's things hidden in our midst, and I kind of want to get the things before I continue to the right, because the right has many scary things, and it also has a locked door with a red key required. So now that we have these, the magic ring, we can just go through this little area, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to. So pretty much the main reason that I got the red key before coming here, or the magic key rather, is this area pretty much, but also just any area in the future that requires these things, because that ring is actually used quite frequently, and therefore it's just a good idea to have it, especially since you're gonna need it to beat the game anyway. So yeah, just get it. Why not? It's good for you. It helps you progress, and it's fine. So chill, everyone. Make your way through this dark tower or cellar, or whatever this is. This is kind of a strange place, I guess. It's just kind of in a house, and we're barging in to steal more stuff from people, like a red key that's mysteriously hidden out in this place with the intention of you having a magical key, because, man, this place has a lot of those switches for some reason. But we got the red key, and as such, we can leave. There's more to the left, but again, we'll get back to that later. There's pretty much going to be a video later, which is the ultimate backtracking adventure, pretty much, where I'm just going to go back through pretty much every area in the game. And I missed those, but whatever. This doesn't really matter too much right now. But yeah, pretty much going to be going back through every area in the game to get all the stuff we weren't able to get before because we simply lacked an item or something like that. But that's going to be a future video, because for now, we don't have those items yet, so therefore we can't really do that. But let's continue on our way. Not really too much to say about this area, except there's a lot of scary enemies that die very easily to our new magical hammer attack, because, man, this thing is a godsend. Although these guys, they are not nice. Especially since when you are hitting someone, you get pushed back, so if someone's stunned, they won't deal damage. Like, I can just walk through him right now. But the moment he pulls up his shield, he can damage me again. So usually you just kind of hold forward and hit like this, so you just get bounced back and you won't run into him too much. But then he grabs a shield and you just run into him instantly. And that was the Rose of Vengeance, and I required a second part, so that's why I just skipped the little description of the item right there. We'll be getting the second part not too soon. Well, kind of soon from now, I guess, but first we have to go through this entire area, so we'll get back to that item at a later time. And there's a yellow key there, which we'll be getting very shortly as well. Even more shortly than the second part of that other item, which is really, really cool. Please get rid of your shield. And my combo bonus is immediately gone because, yeah, that's kind of the downside of those guys. And, yeah, with the hammer, even these guys get stunned, so they're just really not as scary anymore as they used to be before we got our magical hammer attack, which destroys everything. And I'm quite glad about that, because those guys were pretty scary. They can deal so much damage if you have no shield, and even with a shield, they're still pretty terrifying, so they are a force to be reckoned with. So I'm just going to fall down here, get the yellow key, and then we're going to climb back up again, because that means we won't have to go back up here anymore at a later time. And less backtracking we have to do, the smaller that video is going to become. So yeah, that's my main reasoning to pick that thing up, because otherwise the video would be a bit longer. And I am too lazy to go through an entire video to edit stuff, so that might lead to some terrible consequences, which would cause to hilarious video problems. Everyone would point out to me, and that would be very sad. So to make sure that doesn't happen, just gonna do the short route instead and find the Sage. What's up, Grandpa? I'm looking for a guy known as the Sage. Seen him?
You have found him, and you must be Fu then, here to rescue the princess. I was already expecting you.
Figures. So tell me about the robots. What is the big secret about them?
The secret is that the robots are connected to our world. They are the past, present, and future of this planet.
We are connected to these machine men? Where did they come from?
I have seen many worlds before I came to this one. The home planet of the robots is not far from ours.
And this planet is where they have taken Princess Maya. Or Maya, as the comments very nicely pointed out to me. Oh my god.
Exactly. If you want to find her, that is the place you have to go. It is not difficult if you have a spaceship.
The robots have brought many spaceships to our world. Can't I just use one of them?
Don't worry. I already have a plan. Meet me at Vanilla Rock. Climb up to the east side and meet me halfway.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. But yeah, apparently that person's name might be Maya. The pronunciation of names has always been kind of an enigma to me, because it's either Maya or Maya. Like in Killer Instinct Gold, there's a character called Maya. And there the game actually says Maya, but in other games it's Maya, and it's just really confusing. And me being a foreigner, I'm just going to pretend that I don't know English very well. Anyway, I forgot to go back into the level because the yellow door is right here. And now they have an extra power orb, and that's pretty cool. And I'm going to be ending the video here. So the next time we play, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We're either going to get the Way of the Dragon. Like, we have two kind of main quests right now. Either go to this place to get the Way of the Dragon stuff, or do these two at Vanilla Rock, because they're both here, and I'm still kind of pondering what the best order for it all is. So next time we play, I'll have made a decision. Bye-bye.